so that you give not only the reality as it is, so you prepare the minds of these young people that the world out there is waiting for them to recreate it through the knowledge that they have gained. I think that's one very important aspect of it. But also on the other hand, to ensure that these people are mentally prepared to start working towards self-employment right from the college that they have graduated from. I think, to me, I look at it more of a very serious impetus that is being given to these young people. Yeah.
Which is good. Yes. Which is good, especially considering that one must have, some sort of aspect of reality when they're going into the job market. I can tell you from experience, it's really not the easiest thing. And maybe going into the internet to find employment would be the next step that a lot of these students should be taking. And the Open University of Kenya is a child born of the internet.
Exactly. If you know, when we were chartered on the 3rd of August last year by His Excellency the President, he said that he wants his students in class in about a month or so. And sure, to his challenge, we are now a university fully chartered and running, fully established. We have 1,500 students who are learning. We have several other 7,000 who have expressed interest. Why? Because the Open University is a flexible mode of delivery of knowledge. You learn from the comfort of your zone. Wherever you are, it doesn't matter whether you're in Kenya or out of Kenya. It doesn't matter whether you are in the office or at home. The flexibility. Second, the Open University is enabling access to higher education using the internet and technology, so to speak. And therefore, you are providing an avenue for lifelong learning, those who didn't have an opportunity early on in their lives because of grades, and therefore that's the element of inclusivity, the third point. We are looking at everybody who has a desire to get higher education, to retool, to reskill, to have that opportunity to come to the Open University in a flexible manner, accessible through the internet, and including everybody who never had that chance, because we have an admission criteria that is very, very accommodating.
Professor Boaz, then one would ask, education has been made quite accessible in the country from 2002 when, free education, free primary education did come through for a lot of middle-class people. Now, in perspective, we have around 2,396 TVETs in the country. We have 68 universities in the country, of which 35 are public and 33 are private public higher education institutions, increasing by around 52%. That is around 2015. Having all these numbers, you can just tell that we are growing as a country when it comes to the dispensation of education. But Professor, one would then ask, we have all these people who are graduating. We have great professionals. Kenya is one of the best labor markets across, the continent, across the world. Where exactly are we going wrong when it comes to employment? Why are there so many unemployed people?
Well, thank you. That's a question which the economists have always grappled with. But as Boaz mentioned earlier on, there is need for us to develop an environment which will bring about economic growth. Because when you have economic growth of a higher rate, then you are creating employment, because there are jobs to be done, there's construction to be done, there are roads to be constructed, and therefore people will be employed to do that. People will be able to employ people to construct their, or rather, people to construct their houses. So we are looking at an economy which must support the graduates that we are producing. But also, the policies which are in place have to be supportive of employment of these graduates. For example, if we are saying for you to get a job, you must have served in a previous job for 3 or 4 years before you're employed, the issue of experience. And yet we have so many other graduates out there who are looking for jobs as you come in. So that's a policy shift to ensure that anybody who is good, irrespective of when you are employed, and so long as you have the right attitude, you have the right qualifications, you should compete effectively in the marketplace. But also importantly, I think the the way we are now defining jobs, they don't have to be things that you're going to an office to sit and start writing papers and
the typical white-collar
We are talking about jobs on the internet. The president has been very clear on this.
Right.
And it's not a joke when he says you can make dollars by clicking and pressing buttons. That is, well, figuratively, you may think it is a joke, but indeed, if you are looking at jobs, so to speak, business process outsourcing, you do that from anywhere, and that's where the Open University is coming in. You can sit wherever you are, and you get a job outside the country, and you execute it from the comfort of wherever you are. And so you have these people who are employed to serve other countries, companies outside their jurisdiction. In this country right now, we have thousands of those kind of jobs, and people are getting into them. So one has to search hard enough, one has to reskill so that you are fit for purpose. And this is where we are talking about small short courses, which will bridge the gap between what you may have learned in class in a degree program and the evolving job marketplace, so that you reskill yourself, you get the micro credentials required to fit specifically for these evolving jobs on the internet. I'll give you an example.